Thank you very, very much, Paul. You can see clapping hands all over the screen. Thank you very much. That was a very insightful presentation, which has raised our knowledge base at one point, but I'm sure that it also has raised a number of questions or inputs from the audience. And with that, I would like to open the floor for questions. If you like to raise your hand, I would like to give you the floor. We now have more than 20 participants, Paul, from various of the regional projects. There are some people whom I'm not familiar with, so if you speak, if you could very briefly just introduce yourself. So who wants to be first? I can see a hand up by Kaneb. If you could please introduce yourself.
Thank you. My name is Babacar Kane from Senegalese Institute of Agriculture Research. Yes, first of all, congratulations of the organization for this meeting, and congratulations as well, Dr. Paul, for the work carried out as part of this project, and to the entire IPAR team. So I have two questions, please. Firstly, what were the main challenges you faced during the implementation, considering that the Senegal River Valley is a high intensified zone area with high use of chemical fertilizer compared by the SRI? Second question, based on the result obtaining, what kind of strategy do you plan to implement your good result from the field? Thank you.
Okay, Paul, over to you.
Thank you, Babacar Khan. Thank you, Dr. Kars. For the first question, the challenge we faced during the implementation of this project, firstly, is the adoption of this practice. We know in this zone, many of the farmers know this product, these practices, but they didn't adopt it. The challenge was to speak with them and try to adopt these practices with the producer. It is not to do it and applicate it in the field, but it is to work together with the producer, with the farmers, to help them to understand more these practices and help them to adopt it. It is one of the most most important challenge and for this practices. And the second challenge was this area. The area, as you tell it, it is very large, and we need logistic and funding to do some this work. The funding was and constraints to do it, but we adopt. We want to do it in more than fields, more than 2 fields, but we haven't any funding to do it, and we do it only into fields. And now the application of it help us to and the co-working with the farmers help us to success this study. And the second question is the scaling, the strategy to scale these practices. Now we have recently do a workshop at Podor to identify some strategy to disseminate the success of this project. And here we work in the living lab with all the participants to think together the strategy to scale it. But the report will be available in few weeks, and we have many strategy. We identify many strategy to scale it, and after we will share it with other participants. I think it is more. It will be more important to read it.
Okay, thank you. So efforts are on the way for scaling up the technology. Okay, cool. I have two hands up. Peter, please, and then Primitiva.
All right, thank you so much, Hannah. Paul, thank you so much for the interesting presentation. I have three questions that I'll be glad to get clarification from. First of all, the sustainable rice intensification, how different, what component of it is different from what farmers do already? That'll be one thing I want to understand, because it's just a terminology. We want to know what component of it that is different from what farmers already do. Then the second question has to do with the farmer field school. How did farmers learn? How did they engage? And then the field school, was it the scientists, which is the group of people from IPAR, who were directing farmers as to what to do, or the farmers were the ones doing themselves? The third question has to do with, one of your results has to do with about 125,000. I don't know if it is CFA or what, in saving water. And I'm asking, do farmers who cultivate rice pay for water within that area? And if not, how did you account for this saving of water?
Can you repeat your, please, can you repeat the second and the third question?
The second question has to do with the farmer field school. How did they learn? Because it's a school, and was it guided by the scientists of IPAR, or the farmers were the ones taking the decision themselves? I'm asking this because when you leave the farmer and then they get back to their farms, they are the decision makers. So they were in the field school, were they the ones deciding, okay, there's a kind of seed we want. There's like, were they the ones who took the decisions for, or they were taken by the scientists? Then the third one had to do with the loss of water. You said you saved water, 125,000 something. I don't know if it's CFA. Do farmers in the area pay for water? And if not, how did you calculate for saving this amount of water? Because in your challenge, you indicated that one of the challenge was containing or minimizing the loss of water. That's a challenge. So how do you calculate for this 125,000 water saved? I hope you get me now.
Okay.
Right.
For the first question, if I understand, it is a difference of sustainable land management in the farmers' practices. Here we know the sustainable land management. We have many practices in this area, as for example, the use of organic matter, as the intercropping and other practices. But for the farmer skill, many of them didn't use the organic matter, and they prefer the chemical input. And the difference from the sustainable land manager and the practice is the use of the chemical product as the pesticide and the input. It is the most it is the difference between these two practices, because for the sustainable land management you must use few of chemical products. And the second question is the difference between our demonstration and what the product farmers do before. Here, as I tell it, the product, the farmers in the past use this innovation or this sustainable land management as SRI. but most of them now didn't use it because they tell that they have and the weeding is difficult, or they have not many funding to do this, and it is not easy to do this sustainable and management. And the most easy for us for them is to use the chemical products, and now they use this they use chemical products instead of the organic matter. Here is the difference between the SRI, and here in SRI use less water, but less seedling, and less chemical products. And as a farmer practice, it use more water by flooding, permanent flooding, and most seedling, most water, and most of chemical product. I don't know if
Maybe to just come back quickly before I take you, Primitiva. Peter was asking whether farmers do have to pay for water. Do they have to pay in the area?
Yes, they pay for water. They pay for water, and in the presentation, I tell that for using the SRI, the farmers pay 1,025,000 less than the farmer practices for water.
So Peter, that answers your question, right? So it's a real payment saved. Okay, cool. Thanks very much, Paul, for that answer.
I have another question for it is how we do the farmer field school. It is done by the farmers, or it is done by us. And here the farmer field school was done with the farmers. We have ANCAR. It is an institute in Senegal which work in the dissemination of the practices, and with IPAR, ANCAR, and the farmer. So the farmers, we do together the farmer field school.
Cool, thanks for this. So I have at the moment 2 hands and a chat contribution. I would like to take Primitiva first, then I'll go into the chat, and then I'll take Dr. Haruna. Please, Primitiva.
Okay, thank you very much, Hannah, for giving me opportunity to reflect on the presentation. And thank you, Paul, for good presentation. My name is Primitiva Andrea. I'm based in Vienna. I come from Tanzania. I've been working in SRI for quite some years, more than 5 years in Tanzania. So I have some of the reflections about the research that you have done. Yeah, the first one, I think it is hard up to the previous asked the question about how did you monitor the water? How did you quantify the amount of water that has been used in the SLI plots? And the second question is about the number of experiments or the season. Was it one season experiment, and in different farms, or in one farm? That's the second question. And the third question is about the quantification. I don't know if you were able to quantify the greenhouse gases emissions from both practices, farmers' practices and the ACLI practices. Maybe you can reflect on those, and then if there will be questions that could arise as we are discussing, I'll just pause it. Thank you.
Okay, Paul, three questions again.
Thank you, Primitiva. For the first question, what we use to measure the amount of water. Here we didn't measure it. It is the important to know here is that the depth of water is 5, and for the farmer practice it is 15. And here the quantity of water we are in the perimeter irrigation or villageois, and here the irrigation is for all the farmers in the practices or in the fields. We have many fields in one perimeters. We have many fields, and for any farmers, we have the irrigation is continuous for all the farmers. Here we didn't measure it, but we can know the depth of water and the cost of water, and the cost is same for all the farmers in the field. And for SRI, we use less water, but so they paid less than the farmer practices. It helps us to know the difference between the two practices. And the second question is yes, for the season, yes, we do it one season, and we want to do it together, to do it in the rainy season, but we haven't the opportunity to do it, and we are in the end of the project, and we haven't the time to do others experimentation. But in our perspective, it is important to do others experiment in SRI to validate or to validate these results. It is the second question. I don't do. And the third, can you repeat the third question?
The third was about if you were able to measure or to quantify the greenhouse gases emissions.
Greenhouse gas emissions.
The gas emission,
Yeah.
we have measured the gas emission with the consortium, but we haven't the result. We haven't announced the result of the gas emission. But
Okay. It means they are under analysis, yeah?
Still under analysis.
Okay. Yeah, let me add up the last one. Yeah. There was the last question that was posed by member, the participant, about the difference between the ACLI and farmers' practices. I think another peculiar difference that is in ACLI is the use of young seedlings. Yeah, the seedlings with 7 days up to 15 days that has been transplanted into the field, compared to farmers, they use the seedling with up to 35 days. Yeah, this is one of the differences. Another one is about there is the less use of lessing seeds because we plant in a wider spacing, 20 by 20. I've seen Paul have presented that 20 by 20 spacing. that one can allow even the farmer now to use the push weeder. There is a push weeder. I don't know if you have those in Senegal. It is like, the farmer could push that weeder between the lines at the weeding, during weeding. So it makes the weeding easier, and there is no much bending. So it reduces the use of more energy in weeding. So I can say that some of the principles of SLI that differentiate to farmers' practices. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Primitiva.
Thanks for adding that. And with that, I would like to follow up with the question from our chat. Tajuddin Ogunkunle asked, what are the key features of SRI and good agronomic practices? Is there a specific difference between good agronomic practices and the SRI? Or would you say SRI is good agronomic practice?
Yes, SRI is a good agronomic practices. For us, according to the result we have, and the return of the farmers, all know that the SRI is a good agronomic practices and help them to improve to increase their yield and reduce the cost of production. And it is important for the soils by using the organic matter, help the microorganism to develop in the soil, and voila, it is important for us, for the farmers.
Cool. Okay, Tajuddin, is that answer good for you? I guess so. Okay, thank you. Now I have two hands, Dr. Ouedraogo, Haruna, and then Johannes, please.
Okay, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, thank you so much. I just want to congratulate the presenter. I am Haruna Ouedraogo, and I'm in charge of landscape management at CORAF. I'm really happy because we already carried out a study, and farmer school was one of the options selected by the 8 countries concerned with this study. But I have two questions. Was not here at the beginning. Maybe you already answered it, but I just want to back on them. The first one is about the management practices that you use in this farmers field school. I want just to know the key soil management practices that you used on this farmers field school. And the second one is about what you call it, the sustainability of this approach, just to know what mechanisms are or what you set up in place to enable beneficiary farmers to keep going without your financial support. Just to know if you already think about it. Thank you so much.
Okay, Paul.
Did you get my two questions?
I think that the first is the sustainable of these practices for the farmer field school.
Yeah, that you already you are using.
Yeah, that we are using.
Yeah.
I don't.
VK practices. I know, but it can be a lot, but just to highlight VK practices.
I give the answer in the first question to Babakar Khan. It is the strategy is to do another farmer field school is in SRI is the first and most important to help other farmers in the area to know the impact of these practices in the year. And we know in this area the most important for the farmers is to reduce the cost of production and improve and increase the yield. And if we do all those farmer field school on SRI in all those fields, they will help us to see the impact of these practices on the yield. It is the first most important strategy to scale these practices in the area in the Senegal River Valley. So we are continue to discuss with the members of the Living Lab to know and to identify the most strategic and easy strategic practices or strategy to scale the farmer field school in the area. And we have writing a report for this strategic, and in the field we can share it with the consortium to know what we will do to scale all this strategy.
Okay.
Thank you. Can I just add a little? Yeah. Because you know about this farmer field school, I just want to know because I understand well this is about Senegal area. Just to know the place the place of this approach on the agricultural policies.
Yes, the SRI in the policy agriculture policies, we know for the Minister of Agriculture, they make the SRI in the program to improve the rice agriculture in the valley. And here the policies make it in a part of the strategy to help the farmers to improve to increase the yield, and they contribute to sustainable land management, because we know in Senegal the degradation of soil is one most important and constraints to that reduce the yield and accelerate the degradation of the soil. In the agriculture policies, they take this innovation or these practices as SRI to reduce the degradation of soil and increase the farmers' yield.
Okay, good. So there's a step further to go.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right. Johannes, you have your hand up. Is that okay, Jonas? Or did you want to chip in specifically into this? No. Okay. So first Johannes, then Jonas.
Okay. So thanks, Paul, for the nice presentation. I have a question on the labor effort, because we know SRI, the only disadvantage is it needs a bit more labor. And that's why the larger farms in the other areas like Dagana, they don't do it because they have huge fields and very little labor. And in Podor, they have small fields and relatively more labor. So do you think there is a chance that one day even large farmers might switch to SRI?
It is, I understand your question.
Good question. I wanted to ask that as well about the labor. Thank you very
Yeah.
much, Johannes. So yeah, what about the labor? Is that a limiting factor for larger farms?
Yes, yes. For the farmers, it is very difficult the labor because as for the SRI, they need more person to do the labor, and the importance for them to practice the SRI is the mechanical labor. The mechanical labor will help us to continue or to continue to do the SRI in the field.
Are there planting
And
machines,
and
Paul? Are there
the
machines?
labor is a limited factor for the agriculture to scale the SRI. It is the most paid by the farmers.
Would there be machines to ease the planting labor? Is there something available? Or maybe there is something available in Asia that might be transferred to Senegal?
Yes, they have some mechanical for labor, but they are not many, and you can see in one department as Podor, you can have more than 5 mechanical labor here, and for 100 or 1,000 then farmers, it is difficult for all them to access to the labor, mechanical labor.
Mhm. So that's still a limiting factor. Okay, thank you very much, Paul. So Jonas, please.
So yes, thank you, and thank you, Paul, for this great presentation. I have one comment to the question of Primitiva regarding the greenhouse gas emission, because in the project we have one complete task on greenhouse gas emission, on the measurement on greenhouse gas emission, and we measured over several cropping periods greenhouse gas emissions, and this data is now compiled and hopefully published soon, so the colleagues are working on that, and of course we can maybe share the data after the project. I also have a comment, a question, also in the direction of the labor and a bit in the direction of the implementation or the challenges of implementation. And you mentioned on your slide that a solution could be a rotating collective work system. Can you maybe describe a bit how does this look like, and is this working in the reality? So do you have examples? How does this look like? So kind of shared labor, shared machines?
I don't understand your question. Can you
on the slide where you described the implementation and the challenges of implementation of SRI or farmer field schools. There you had the challenges and then you had solutions.
Yes.
Yes, here the labor is a problem, and the solution could be promote a rotating collective work system. Are there examples, or how does this look like, and is it working in the reality? No, it was the correct slide. That under the point labor. So the problem is scheduling conflicts. So I mean, the solution, you promote a rotating collective work system, and I'm just try to imagine how does this could look like.
Here, I don't know if I understand clearly your question, but in this slide, we try to
maybe CD can jump in. I just saw him that he's here.
CD is the social.
CD, if you can help me.
Please go ahead, CD.
I can jump in.
No, sorry, Primitiva, let the project. Sorry.
Thank you, Thank you very much, Paul, for your presentation. I am Sidi Tunkara. I am the colleague of Paul. We have worked together on this project in Senegal, in particular in Podor department. Effectively, the level is I think, the big problem of SRI. When we go in Podor, we see that the moment of transplantation, farmers can mobilize family laborers, the children of the family. We can mobilize them to help to do the transplantation. Or some farmers mobilize also Talibe, the Quranic student in the village. We can mobilize them to do the transplantation. But this kind of solidarity is we can see it in the area, but the solidarity between village to village now I can tell it is not working, but it is not easy to do it. But in the past, it was practiced. We can see around through some rural areas, and in particular in the rainy season, for the work on the field. All the village can go to a farm to do the work and go to another farm. And so we can see that in the past, but now I think it is very difficult to see it. And another problem of the labor is the mechanization. Paul have shown a machine here on his slide. This a machine for transplanting, but the problem is the transplanting of this machine don't respect the SRI principle. For example, put one rice in the one pocket and respect the distance between a row of rice. It is a big problem. So the mechanization is we have to redesign this machine in order to respect the SRI principle. One limit of our living lab in terms of members, we don't have a private sector which can work on the designing of the machine to test or prototype and to discard, to test with the farmer in the living lab in order to go to the industrialization production. And after, the government can do subsidize to facilitate the access of this machine. So in the future, I think it is a one road we can take to promote the adoption of this technology based on the adaptive mechanization for SRI. Thank you very much, Paul. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, Sidi, for these extra explanations. Unfortunately, we have come to the end of our colloquium. I also have a number of questions, but I just forfeit them for sake of time. And I would like to really congratulate Paul and others at IPAR and in the COINS team for this excellent work, interesting insights. And we are waiting for the publications to come to learn more about some of the results, and wish you all good luck in also upscaling and outscaling the technology. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Hannah, for hosting us. Bye-bye.
Bye.